So, and just, I mean, the volunteer celebration, just as we're
That was
just hanging
awesome.
out, it was
Yeah.
so incredibly cool. All the ministries represented, all the people having a meal in the lobby together, laughing a lot together. It was kind of one of those, like, honestly, for me, I was like, oh, there's our church.
Hmm.
You know, it was like the people that are invested in volunteering and helping people and serving behind the scenes, kind of cheering each other on. It reminded me even like post as we're coming out of COVID a little bit. It felt like, oh, we're getting back to normal on
Yeah,
some
because if
level.
you serve on a team here at Mission, like I would imagine the biggest group that you'd be a part of, like in a huddle, might be 20 to 30 people.
Right.
And we have five, I think close to 500 people
So
that are
crazy.
serving, not just role, but like 500 unique people serving in a ton of different roles, and over 300 people were here for that volunteer party. It was just such a great reminder of like what makes Mission is that.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
One of the reason we do the family meeting is that we want to just be able to kind of give some updates and what's going on and try to encourage everybody as much as we can. So I am stoked about like what seems like a return and like missions becoming mission again, heading into Easter and all the things that has meant. And our kids team has done some really cool things. So you want to maybe update us on some
Yeah,
of the
like
kids
some of the stuff we've shared on the weekend, in case you missed it, they did a 3rd through 5th grade camp and had, I think it was over 75 3rd through 5th graders, had an epic Nerf war battle that we're still finding darts all over the building from, and had, the couple weeks before that, did a family movie night. And I think there was like 250 families here for that. So we've seen so many mission families even inviting their friends. That's one of my favorite things, standing in the check-in line for those events and just being introduced to all the people that have invited classmates and friends. And I feel like an openness in our community to check out church coming out of COVID and in this season.
Yeah, I just want to encourage us, especially it's Easter. This is an easy invite. I know inviting may not be easy for everyone, but no one in this season is going to be offended that you're inviting them to experience Easter sitting next to you. And so I just want to challenge.
Especially after we tell you what's coming on Easter.
Yeah,
Just a little teaser.
Yeah, what's coming. So I just want to remember, like, I've just been encouraged to hear story after story of people that have even been inviting for years. And their ones and their people that they've been investing in have started to check it out. In fact, I mean, just honestly, there was a guy today that I met 4 years ago on the soccer sideline, and I'd seen him probably 4 times since, and we've talked every time. And he walked in this morning and was like, I don't know if you remember me. I'm like, yes, I know exactly. He's like, I didn't even know you were a pastor, and I just thought we were friends. And then one of the other teammates' parents told me you're a pastor, and I'm moving back into Ventura, and I was like, I'm going to that church. And so I saw him this morning. So I just want to remind you that those invites and that consistency, it matters, and right now in this window is a huge opportunity.
Yeah, and it may not result in an immediate, I'll show up, but it may be years later that you get to see the impact of that. And so cool. I know we've been in rooted small groups too,
Man,
which has been an amazing run.
if you're not in Rooted, I'm not trying to shame you or embarrass you in any way. But next time it's offered in any way, shape, or form, if you're a leader around here, take a group through it. This is my first time. I've never facilitated it. I've never been in it. And so I have loved it. It's simple and easy to facilitate, but it gets right to some great conversation. I have massively loved it. So there's been over like 250, 300 people at the different campuses that have gone through it. It is incredible. 2 thumbs up on the Rooted experience for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the content's been great. The conversation's really been the most incredible thing in my mind. And it's just such a good reminder. Again, like some of these things have been on pause for 2 years. Even if we've been meeting, people's comfort level hasn't been there. And it really does feel like we're finally emerging from the, people are ready, to be in community and to move forward in exciting ways.
And I think even like leading into Easter and baptism stories and the Rooted celebration, like it all feels like just great opportunity and what God's doing. I'm really stoked about it. So.
Yeah, and we one of the values that's been true for us for a long time is throwing great parties, right? And that's been something we've been mourning the loss of over the last 2 years. We were in a meeting the other day and realized the last movie night that we threw, which is one of the parties we throw community facing for our community, was 2019. Because that was the last summer fall run. And like, man, it's almost 3 years. Like so many people that have come to Mission don't even know what that is. Like they have no frame for it. So
so Friday night was a movie night in Oxnard, and I don't even know how to to do it justice of what it felt like, because I showed up a little bit after 6 because I picked up my daughter from soccer, and I'm driving down to the OPAC, and I'm like, man, it's crazy down here tonight. What's going on? And then I got to the intersection where we were throwing the movie night, and I'm like, oh, it's us. It's Mission that's throwing a party. It's us that's bringing the fun and the crazy. And so I was so excited and thrilled to be part of a church that did that. The teams did incredible. I mean, I think we were trying to say like 50 to 500 would be amazing. And it was packed and slammed.
Yeah,
So,
if you missed on Sunday, we have a recap video. So why don't you check this out,
Yeah, check
and we
it
can
out.
kind of talk a little bit while it plays. But it was at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center. We did it right there in the parking lot, which was really cool because all of the activities, the movie, all of that was facing a pretty busy street. And it was really incredible to watch just the droves of people walking up from the community, neighborhoods. A lot of schools is how people found out about it. Over 250 people turned in registration cards for the drawings and stuff. So we know, there were probably over 500 people at least that were at this event, and it was such an incredible night. And the weather even cooperated.
Yeah,
So,
it's just a reminder to me of like, oh yeah, when we throw events for our community and the people that volunteer at those events are such like the family, the core family of Mission, and the people like that are watching this right live or later, it's like, yeah, it's compelling to be part of a place like that. I was so proud. I was just so proud of our church that night. So,
yeah, it was awesome. All right, you want to jump into
Let's jump
some
in.
of the
Let's
stuff?
do
So
it.
you want to talk about Easter real quick? Like
Yeah.
that's 2 weeks away, kind of
Yeah,
a big Sunday in the life of the church.
I just feel, and maybe we feel like this at every Easter, I don't know, but I feel like there's something significantly powerful about this Easter and the season that we've been in and the opportunity that's there. I feel like that people that have been meandering in their faith, or maybe have shipwrecked their faith during COVID, or even have grown up through COVID and realized that there's something more, that there's a spiritual opportunity. I really do. Not trying to over church this thing, but I really think it's a spiritual opportunity that's going on. When we did, Kyle did Costello, our Ojai campus pastor, did a message of like the I've decided and kind of decision moment around baptism.
Right.
And it was like, oh, there was 57 or plus, there's actually more than 60 people have signed up at the 2 campuses already to be baptized on Easter. And we know that we usually baptize more than have signed up when we do a baptism. So I'm like, holy cow, like that's not normal. It should be normal. How about that? It should be normal for every church in the world to experience that because of the hope of Jesus. Like for us to be able to be in that together, it's not normal. And I don't want us to miss out the opportunity that God is kind of doing. So
Right. So, I mean, let alone it's Easter, it's going to be a baptism experience. Those are all amazing reasons to not miss
Right.
that Sunday. But we're also going to kick off a pretty big initiative. You
Yeah.
want to go there? Anything else you want to say about Easter?
No, I don't miss the opportunity to invite people. And I think one of the things that I love about our church is that we are always looking for how we can do good. And so I'll interrupt you when I want to interrupt you
No, that's
for
great.
the thing you're going to announce.
So if you were around Mission last year, one of the things that we identified in our community as a need was addressing food insecurity.
Okay, I just want to stop there for just a second. Because I'm like, we live in a place with some of the most fertile soil in the world, and food insecurity for kids is a top need. I'm like, that's dumb. Like, and I know it's real. I'm not saying it's a dumb need. I'm saying I can't believe that that's a reality.
Yeah, but we got to do something about it.
We got to do something about
Yeah, we got to.
that. So
we can't
that's why
just
we
hear
jumped into
that.
Feed
We can't just
805.
hear that and ignore it. And Food Share is an amazing organization, countywide, does so much good.
Right.
Such a great and easy organization to support and partner with. And they've got a ton of stats on food insecurity. If you want to go to Food Share's website, you can see all of the data that they have around it. Super compelling, and it just is going to reinforce, man, we got to do something about this. So last fall, we did our very first Feed 805 initiative, and we did a food drive. If you're around Mission, you may remember this. We invited businesses and the community to partner, be drop spots. We had a huge, I think it was like, was it 11 moving trucks full?
Yep.
And so we've got some pictures we can throw up on the screen to give some context if you weren't here last fall. But it was an incredible experience. I mean, the lobby's just
So
full
good.
of so much
So
food,
good.
right? And it was so cool to see a couple of things happen with this event. One, the church is mobilized, right? right? So we were handing out bags. I mean, our whole church was, you could go out in the lobby, grab bags, take them to your neighborhood. And the invitation was, hey, take these bags and ask them to fill them, take them to businesses, drop them off, keep refilling them. And it was awesome to watch our church get mobilized. Second, our community was engaged because this is something that's, I think, the community's never said no to the church wanting to meet a practical need in the community. They're all in to help. So it engaged the community in some really cool ways. Tons of businesses were a part of that. And I don't remember the number off the top of my head of the pounds, but it was like 45,000 pounds. Does that sound about right?
Man, I
know it was 11 truckloads of food. Might have been like 45,000
Jen's
pounds.
probably shaking her head at us right now.
Exactly.
So 5 minutes later, she's going to put it in the chat to be seen like 10 hours later.
Exactly.
So
Trust me, it was a lot of food.
It was compelling.
So it was really cool, really cool thing. And it kind of like for us felt like that was cool. We're going to need to do that again. And so that's not what's happening in April. We are going to do another food drive as part of Feed 805 in the fall. So that's going to come later this fall. We're going to do that again.
Right.
But we realized, man, we really want to try to put a dent in this food insecurity thing. And so under the initiative of Feed 805, we have a second event that we're going to try. And that's what we're going to try in May. And we're going to kick it off on Easter Sunday. So we're going to get to do a thing that's called meal packing. So if you don't know what meal packing is, we are going to gather a bunch of people in our community, in our church, and we are going to pack meals. And our goal is to pack 250,000 meals, so 250,000 meals to donate to Food Share. And I'm sure you have no idea what I'm talking about. So to kind of paint a picture of it, we'll throw this video up on the screens and we can kind of talk over it.
Let it sit for a second. 250,000 meals that we're going to try and pack for our community using a meal packing event that you're looking at right now.
Yeah, so this is another church that we're friends with that has done a similar event, and this is what we're going to be packing. And I love, you can just catch a vision of it already, right? Kids are serving, you can serve as a family, and like we are going to be packing rice and beans and oatmeal. Each bag the rice and beans has 6 meals in the bag. The oatmeal has 8. So when you think of the meals, like it's actually the number of bags that we're going to be packing. But our goal, again, would be to have 250,000 meals. I got the number written down here somewhere of the number of pallets, like 18 pallets and 40,000 bags that we would be packing together. And so that is going to be happening on May 21st. So April 17th, Easter, we're going to be casting vision to provide 250,000 meals to Food Share in May and inviting the whole community to participate and be a part of it.
And so maybe I'm just going to ask questions like, so why Food Share? I mean, I know they're great partners, so we're giving them 250,000 meals, and why are we giving them to Food Share?
Yeah, that's a great question. We went around a number of different organizations in our community and asked, one, if we do this, will you want it?
Right.
Nothing like meeting a need we think exists that no one thinks is helping. And they were all like, this is great, absolutely, but Food Share is kind of the food bank for all of the food pantries. And so what we heard over and over again was like, we could take a pallet, but we can't take all of them. Have you thought about giving it to Food Share? And we were like, yeah, we should just stick with Food Share.
Yeah.
So that it has the best infrastructure to support it. They're the most reputable organization, and we trust them.
And that's going everywhere in our county that Food Share operates. So like, it's so cool to be able to pack meals and help out literally hungry people that live, work, and play in our county.
Yep, and we're going to do it at 2 locations. So we'll be doing the meal packing at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center and here in Ventura. So Ventura and Oxnard will have meal packing events. And you saw the pictures on the screen there, but just to give you an idea, like this is the oatmeal. And this is the rice and beans. And so these are like legit store packaging items, got calorie counts even on the back, if you're curious about that kind of thing. So the scope of it, again, is 250,000 meals. We need to do a couple of things over the next month or so. We're going to need to fund it. So the cost to do this is going to be about $65,000 to provide 250,000 meals. It's just over a quarter a meal, over $1.50 a bag.
Right.
And so we're gonna have some opportunities starting on Easter to mobilize the church to sponsor all of the bags and all the food. We're gonna mobilize a team to go after corporate sponsorships. If you were around for Night to Remember a couple years ago, the history of mission, you may have some familiarity of like we would do sponsorships for Night to Remember. It's gonna be that sort of thing. If you don't know what Night to Remember is, it's basically we're going to give you an opportunity to jump in and sponsor a box, a bag, kind of.
Yeah, I would just encourage us. I love our church, so I think that's clear, and I'm biased, so that's great. Of course, we could pull this off together as our church. We could do it. It's a better win if we could help our community get involved. Yes, we want to be able to fund 250,000 meals, but we would love, if you own a business, like how cool would it be to get your employees to serve or to sponsor an hour or whatever way we're going to pack meals, like to have a business get involved as a leader. Or if you're a teacher and you can get a group of teachers that want to come and serve. And I mean, to leverage like where we live, work, and play in our neighborhoods and our jobs and our schools, on our teams, like all of those places to come serve together and fund it to kind of meet this need would be so cool. And I think that's even like it's a win to alleviate food insecurity, but also to leverage and get people around serving to meet that need is awesome.
I think that's one of the things that just Mission has become known for over the last 10 plus years is that when we do something like this, we mobilize the community. And that's a huge win for us in this. Like Mike's saying, the goal isn't just to pack and distribute the meals. It's also one of the goals is to mobilize about 1,500 volunteers in our community and in the church. And so like Mike was saying, man, I think there's a great opportunity for businesses that always want to do good to be able to sponsor and send some staff over or serve together as a team. There'll be clubs, sports groups, all kinds of different ways that we can engage our community. Sports groups. I was going to say Rotary groups, but then sports, I don't know, sportsing groups, like sportsing groups. Yeah.
Bands.
Yeah, lots of different, you name it. We'll just make up words. So that's a cool way for us to be able to like do good, to mobilize the community to do good for the kingdom.
So Easter Sunday, like launching a huge initiative that we're going to do in a quick burst. So from the month after, so Easter Sunday is April 17th, and we're packing on May 21st window. So that's a month that we're mobilizing 1,500 volunteers, that we're sponsoring 250,000 meals. So that'll cost about a quarter a meal, which is $65,000. And we're going to try and get our community to massively own this as well as our church. So it's a significant initiative, but I think it's food insecurity is a worthy thing to tackle, and Food Share is a great partner to have in it. So
yeah, so just practically, when you're thinking about inviting people to Easter, just know this is what they're going to walk away with. They're going to walk away seeing stories of life change through baptism, an opportunity to participate in doing practical good in their community, let alone experiencing a message of hope of how Jesus changes their lives too. So get everybody you can think of here on Easter and over the next 6 weeks, because this is such a good opportunity for our neighbors and the people we work with and that are in community with us to be mobilized and have a chance to be shoulder to shoulder with and make an impact in our community.
Yeah, so this is all going to be rolled out in the next few weeks. So just be prepared. It's coming. So you're the first to know. This is the first place we've told it publicly. We're really excited about it. We have lots coming up, but we felt like this was the first thing to tackle, and we'll do another family meeting post this, celebrate it, and we'll talk some more about the next plan.
Yep, and I'm sure you got tons of questions. We will have all of the details and how it all works and all that. We will be kicking that off on Easter, but for now, we just wanted to paint a picture of what's coming and make sure that you feel like the first ones invited into praying for favor in the conversations we're having and the opportunity that is in front of us, and man, just really praying for what God's going to do through the people of Mission and in our community as we serve together.
Yeah, man, I really do feel, but maybe I'm just going to pray. I feel like it'd be appropriate for us, and I feel like we're in a spiritual season, a spiritual battle, and let's pray together, and we'll wrap up the meeting. God, just super grateful for the men and women of our church, and just the people that make up your body, and the way that you've gifted everyone, the way that we need each other, the way that we're called to be a city on a hill and a light. God, I'm just so grateful to be part of this. I'm grateful for your son. I'm grateful for the history of Easter and the empty tomb and what that means, that there's hope for every single one of us, and grateful for people growing in their faith and growing in their generosity and growing in their servanthood and growing in life with you. God, I'm grateful for the way that you're awakening people that have been living in darkness, that there's hope for them and that there may be a better way that you have for them, and they're kind of opening their hearts and minds and lives to you. So would you give us eyes to see and wisdom to know what to say, and just opportunity to invite people to experience the hope that you have to offer. God, thank you for the organizations like Food Share that we could partner with to meet real needs in our community. And so God, would we be the kind of people that when there's a need that our church steps in to meet it. God, we need you. We love you. Grateful for this family. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks for being on, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Much love. Peace.